You're standing on another world. Take a second to let that sink in. Beneath your boots, there's real ground, not simulated, not a screen, not a dream. Actual soil, actual rocks. And above you, the sky is this deep, burning amber, like the whole atmosphere is permanently stuck at the most dramatic moment of a sunset you've ever seen. For exactly 4 seconds, it's the most beautiful thing a human being has ever witnessed. And then your brain catches up. That orange sky, it's not sunset. It's a soup of nitrogen and methane so thick that sunlight can barely punch through it. The ground you're standing on isn't dirt. It's a mix of water ice and organic compounds so cold they behave like rock. And the breeze you feel against your suit? That's not wind. That's Titan's atmosphere pressing against you, denser than anything you've ever breathed, like standing at the bottom of a very calm, very deadly ocean. Welcome to Titan, Saturn's largest moon, the only place in the solar system besides Earth that has rivers, lakes, and rain, and every single drop of that rain will kill you. See, scientists have spent decades selling us this idea of Titan as the friendly moon, the one with an atmosphere, the one with liquid on the surface, the one that almost feels like home. And honestly, that's the most dangerous lie in all of astronomy, because Titan doesn't look like a killer. It doesn't announce itself. It just waits. The temperature on the surface right now, where you're standing, is minus 179 degrees Celsius. That's not cold. Cold is forgetting your jacket in November. This is the temperature at which your blood stops being a liquid and starts having an identity crisis. This is the temperature at which the air itself, the stuff you breathe, becomes a puddle on the ground. Your suit is the only thing standing between you and that reality. A few centimeters of engineered material. That's it. Before we follow you one step deeper into this nightmare and find out what Titan actually does to the human body, make sure you're subscribed to Silent Threat. Because where we're going next, you're going to want someone who knows the way out. The nitrogen clouds above you just turned dark, and it's starting to rain. The first drop hits your visor. It doesn't look like water. It's darker, almost golden, and it slides down the surface of your helmet in slow motion, like honey moving through cold air. That's methane, liquid methane, falling from the sky, pooling into lakes, carving rivers through the ice rock terrain around you. A complete weather system running on a chemical that, back on Earth, we pump into stoves to make breakfast. Here, it's the sky crying poison. But the rain isn't what's going to get you first. It's the cold. And it doesn't attack you the way you think it does. It doesn't rush in. It doesn't slam into you. It negotiates. Slowly, patiently, it begins pulling heat away from your body, the way a thief works a crowd. 1 degree at a time. So smooth you almost don't notice until your wallet is already gone. Let's go inside the suit for a second. Your heating system is working right now, burning through power reserves to keep you at a survivable temperature, but your extremities, fingers, toes, as the tip of your nose, are already losing the argument. At minus 179 degrees Celsius, the difference between protected and exposed is measured in seconds, not minutes. 1 micro tear in your glove, 1 compromised seal at the ankle. That's all it takes for Titan to introduce itself properly. And when it does, here's what happens at the molecular level. And I'm going to describe this simply, because the reality is horrifying enough without the science jargon. Imagine your cells are tiny water balloons. When they freeze, they don't just get cold, they expand. The ice crystals that form inside them are sharp. They punch through the cell walls from the inside out. Your own body becomes the weapon. Tissue doesn't just die. It gets destroyed from within, silently, while you're still standing there thinking you're okay. The medical term is frostbite. But that word makes it sound manageable, like something that happens to careless hikers. This is not that. You take 3 steps toward the ridge to get a better look at the methane lake below. The amber haze makes it look almost peaceful, almost inviting, and then you stop, because something in that lake just moved. You tell yourself it was nothing. A current, maybe, a trick of the light filtering through that thick amber sky. Methane lakes have tides, after all. Titan scientists back home told you that. Saturn's gravity pulls at the surface liquid the same way our moon pulls at Earth's oceans. It was just the tide. Just physics doing its thing. You almost believe it, but your heating system just beeped twice. And that sound, 2 short, flat beeps, is the sound of your world getting significantly smaller. Battery reserves at 34%. The primary heating coil in your left boot has just gone offline. This is the point of no return. Not because rescue is impossible. The ship is 40 minutes out. 40 minutes is nothing. It's a TV episode. It's a lunch break. It's the drive to the airport. 40 minutes is survivable. Except NASA's own survival models, the ones they ran for exactly this kind of scenario, tell a very different story. Because the human body doesn't negotiate with 40 minutes on Titan. It negotiates with the first 10. Here's what's already happening inside you, right now, without you feeling it yet. Your core temperature has dropped 1.2 degrees. That doesn't sound like much, but your body treats that the same way a pilot treats a small engine fire. It immediately starts making emergency decisions. Blood gets rerouted away from your arms and legs to protect your heart and brain. Your hands are being sacrificed to keep your organs alive. Your body is tossing crew members overboard to keep the ship from sinking. And the cruel part? You feel fine. You feel warm even. That's not comfort. That's your nervous system starting to lie to you. The signals from your extremities are getting quieter because the nerves themselves are shutting down. You're not warming up, you're going numb. And numb, out here, is just the polite word for the beginning of the end. Before we cross into the final stage, the one where your brain starts making decisions that make absolutely no logical sense, and your body does something so bizarre that rescue teams have found it for centuries and still can't fully explain it, make sure you're subscribed to Silent Threat. Because what happens in the next 10 minutes? Nobody who experienced it fully ever got to describe it themselves. 7 minutes have passed. Your core temperature is now at 35 degrees Celsius, 1 degree below normal. Medically, that's the threshold, the line doctors call the beginning of mild hypothermia. But mild is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence because your brain has already started making decisions without consulting you. The hallucinations come first. Not the dramatic, cinematic kind, not monsters, not visions. Subtler than that. You look at the methane lake to your left, and you're suddenly convinced there's a path around it that leads somewhere warm. You can almost see it. Your brain, desperate for a solution, is starting to invent options that don't exist. It's your most sophisticated survival computer glitching under pressure, generating outputs from corrupted data. You take 2 steps toward the lake before you catch yourself. Then comes the shaking. Violent, uncontrollable shivering that rattles your teeth and makes it hard to hold the emergency beacon in your hands. This is actually your body trying to save you. Muscle movement generates heat, and your system is burning its last reserves to keep your core temperature from dropping further. You are literally shaking yourself apart, trying to stay alive. And then, without warning, the shaking stops. This is the moment rescue teams dread most, because when the shivering stops, it doesn't mean you're getting better. It means your muscles have run out of fuel. The last active defense just went offline. Your body temperature is now in freefall. Here's where it gets truly disturbing. At around 32 degrees Celsius core temperature, something happens that has baffled scientists and confused rescuers for over a century. It's called paradoxical undressing. Your dying nervous system, completely overwhelmed and misfiring, suddenly sends a signal that you are burning up. Not cold, hot. Unbearably, suffocatingly hot. And the instinct that follows is immediate and completely impossible to resist. You want to take off your suit. People have been found in the Arctic, in the Alps, in the Himalayas, stripped of their clothes in minus 30 degrees Celsius weather, having removed every layer in the final minutes of their lives, completely convinced they were overheating. Now imagine that impulse. Here, on Titan. Your hand moves toward your helmet seal. The rescue ship just entered visual range. But are they going to be 40 minutes too late, or 4 seconds too late? The rescue team gets there in time, barely. Your hand was 3 centimeters from the helmet seal when they grabbed you. 3 centimeters from opening yourself up to minus 179 degrees Celsius atmosphere and ending the story right there, on a methane-soaked rock orbiting a ringed giant 1.2 billion kilometers from home. 3 centimeters from becoming the most remote human death in history. They pull you inside the ship. They wrap you in thermal blankets. They do everything right. And here's the part nobody tells you in the brochures about Titan exploration. You're alive, but Titan isn't done with you. The damage done in those 40 minutes doesn't reverse itself the moment you're warm again. The ice crystals that formed inside your cells, remember those tiny water balloons stabbed from the inside out? They don't just disappear. The tissue they destroyed is gone. Permanently. Frostbite at that level doesn't heal. It amputates just on a schedule you don't control. Doctors call it demarcation, the slow process of your body revealing, over days and weeks, exactly how much of itself it had to sacrifice to keep you breathing. You survived Titan, but you left pieces of yourself there. And that's the thing that keeps aerospace engineers up at night when they design real mission suits for future Titan exploration. Not the methane rain, not the nitrogen atmosphere, not even the strange movement in the lakes that, officially, remains unexplained in 3 separate Cassini probe datasets. It's the margin. The terrifyingly thin margin between a working heating coil and a body bag. Between 4 seconds of wonder and a death so cold it would preserve you perfectly for whoever, or whatever, found you next. Titan is the solar system's most beautiful trap. A world that looks like it's offering you something. An atmosphere, liquid, familiarity, while systematically disassembling you at the molecular level, and it is patient. You survived Titan this time. But the universe has something waiting that makes Titan look like a warm summer afternoon. Click the video on your screen to find out what Venus does to anything that dares to land on its surface. No probe has ever survived longer than 127 minutes down there. I'll see you in the dark.